Hello friends, all of us work or use the digital assets provided by our organization like office laptop, desktop, servers, virtual machines, cloud account, user ID and password. So we must handle all these assets in a secure way, and for this every organization have some defined procedure for asset handling, and as a security professional we must know how to establish these procedures which help us to securely handle the information and assets. This CISSP topic wants us to understand how to establish information and asset handling requirements. As all the sensitive information and assets are secured using some physical, administrative or technical control, and all these control help us to establish the handling requirement. So we must understand the procedures related to secure handling of information and assets. Some of these are marking, labeling, handling, declassifying and storage. Let's take these one by one. So the first one is marking and labeling. We all have seen this on the boxes, on the files and on different assets. It is a very effective procedure. Marking is a procedure to place description in plain view directly on the asset so that a person can read. We can mark the distribution list, handling requirements and even applicable security levels. We also call this process as labeling because the information used to mark the asset is most effective when grouped together and easily accessed on a label or a physical tag which can be fixed on that particular asset. The label must be in plain view. It should make easier to identify the importance of the data itself and the manage the assets to assure availability, confidentiality and integrity based on the classification level of that particular asset. Next is handling. In any organization, there are some policies and procedures which set the rule for the handling of each category of information at the appropriate level of sensitivity throughout the lifetime of that particular asset or information. These handling rules for the information cover the whole life cycle of that particular information, like the access phase, the transfer phase, the storage. So each and everything is covered in the handling phase. And to make sure everyone in our organization know these rules, we must do proper employee awareness and training regarding responsibilities for proper handling of sensitive information. We must also understand the fact that over a period of time, employees handling even the most restricted information will become unworried, and then there is a maximum chance of data loss. So we must include warning for this in our training sessions. And the next is the data declassifying. So we can use techniques like de-identification, obfuscation, anonymization to protect data, especially when used for testing and storing databases. In such scenarios, the confidentiality of the data must be maintained, and to do this, we can de-identify or anonymize the data. This process involves taking any personally identifiable data field and converting them into masked, obfuscated, encrypted or tokenized data field. For example, the name field may change from the actual name to XXX under a masked process or 5847 under anonymization. Fields like address or date of birth may still be useful for any analytical purpose even if the personally identifiable information is de-identified. If encryption is used, a re-identification key is required to decrypt the database. No matter what process is used to de-identify the data, guidelines must be followed to keep the data from being easily re-identified by combining the data fields or by using guessing. So the next is data tokenization. We can also use tokenization, which is a specific form of de-identification. Tokenization is the process of substituting a sensitive data element with a non-sensitive set of characters or numbers. Usually, this token or the value of the replaced data set has the same length as the data which was replaced. So the token is not meaningful in relationship to the original data. In other words, unlike encryption, the token cannot be re-engineered back to the value in clear text. A lookup table is used as a re-identification key in case of a tokenization. The original data and the re-identification keys are stored securely, separately from the production system and the original data systems. Next is destruction. So in case the media is of top secret level, then the destruction of the media and the computing is the only acceptable declassification final step. And once such media are destroyed, documentation of the disposal must be collected and maintained as per the organization information asset security management policy that must align with the regulatory and legal mandates. And as in today's digital age, to secure the information at the time of declassification or storage, we can also use the technique of encryption. As sensitive data at rest must be encrypted in some way. Also, at the time of disposal, we can just encrypt the whole information or the whole drive, and we can just delete or overwrite on that particular encrypted data. This will help us to have an added layer of security. So this is all which you need to know for this 18th topic of CISSP. With this, I just want to say thank you friends and keep watching for more such videos.